Okay, we are live. Hello everyone. Good evening. If you're joining us, let me check if we are live on my laptop. That's on the other page. So yeah, basically we are live. Okay, we are live right now. So can you guys hear me still yet?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so welcome ladies. If you are just joining, I think I just need to what's it called? If you are just joining, this is our monthly workshop, and today we'll be talking about open source. We have Dave with us, and we have Victoria. Dave is a mentor at Blockheader Web3, and Victoria is a technical writer at Orus Lab. She is also a blockchain developer. Dave is also a blockchain developer, and they are open source contributors, right? So they're just the perfect people to actually talk about this, right? So we are so glad that we have them here. And the reason why we are doing this is so that we on YouTube Live is so that we have this section recorded and we can always come back to it. So if you're just joining, this is our monthly workshop. You can actually use the comment section to introduce yourself, tell us what you would love to see or what you would love to take away from this section. You can do that in the comment section. I'll be reading the comment section, right? So today we would be talking about open source. I don't really want to stretch the introduction too much so that we don't waste Dave's time. Dave is actually supposed to board a flight, and I don't want us to waste too much time, right? So we'll be talking about open source. We've had about if you know about open source, especially in the Web2 space, open source has been there, right? Open source is a way for people to actually improve their skills, especially when it comes to programming, when it comes to writing codes, when it comes to development. Open source is also a way for people to actually connect with new people, work on solutions together with other people, right? But today we want to talk about what open source is in Web3. Basically, we know the blockchain is open normally, so I'm always wondering why do we still have open source if the blockchain is just open and for everybody to use? So why do we still have open source? Well, that's like my own question, right? And I'm sure we'll get clarity from our speakers. So now I will just push the mic to Dave so that it would start its own section. Thank you guys for joining. And like I said, do well to introduce yourself in the comment section. I don't mind at all. You can just tell us your name, where you're joining from, and what you're looking forward to get from this section, right? So let's just do that quickly while we bring Dave up. Hi, Dave. You have the mic. Thank you.
All right. Good evening, GM, everybody. I'm Dave, and I'm a blockchain developer and also a technical instructor at Blockheader Web3, where we onboard developers with requisite skills to start building on the blockchain. We've been doing this, and we're happy that we're currently having our fifth cohort. Yeah, so I'll be talking this evening about open source. So a lot of us coming here must have heard open source, and we will be kind of like, what is open source? Actually, it means it refers to any project, software, whose source code, right, is publicly available, and that is basically that. It is publicly available. It's open for anybody to kind of review, modify, and yeah. So you can actually have a version of a particular code base, have that version, replicate it, and then add kind of certain improvements to that particular free version. That is what open source is all about. Yeah, so that is, I'll be taking a technical hands-on session on how to navigate your way to become an open source contributor using Only Dust. So yeah, so thank you. I think that is that for introduction. Thank you, Aisha.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Dave. So, I think you can start. If you want to share your screen, please feel free to share your screen to present your screen. I would add your screen to the stage. Yeah. So, please let's do that.
Okay, no,
Hi, Dave.
okay,
Yeah.
sure, no problem. Let me quickly try to share my screen.
That's the only challenge. If that is the challenge, I'll handle it. I know what to do about it. Oh, I have to take my leave. Your bag. It's true. You want to leave your bag with us. Yeah, what's that? What are you looking for?
Can you guys see my screen?
My phone.
I just added your
Your
screen to
phone.
the stage so I can
Are
see
you
your
sure you
screen
can
from
hear
my
me?
end. Ladies, please, you can use the comment section. Okay, I can't see your screen anymore. Can you present your screen again?
Ada?
I'm coming. I'm trying
Hi,
to
Dave.
yeah. So just give me a moment. I'm trying to share my screen. Can you guys see
Okay,
my
that's
screen?
fine.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen now. I can see your
All right, no
screen.
problem. So I'll be talking about getting started on Only Dust. Like I mentioned earlier, so I'll be giving an intro into I gave an intro into what open source is and like yeah. So what is that in Web3 space? So we know Web3 is decentralized, secure, and transparent, accountable, and community owned. So these are the ethos of the Web3 ecosystem. So that means any code base that anything that has to do with Web3 must be kind of very open for anybody to access it, and then it must operate on these principles that I mentioned earlier. Right, it must be decentralized, it must be open, it must be accessible, transparent, and community owned. So yeah, in Web3 space, before now we had so many platform. I think prominent among them was Gitcoin. Gitcoin was a platform apart from the what everybody know Bitcoin. Retroactive. So that's the funding, like right. So that is what everybody knows Bitcoin has. But before then, Bitcoin was popularly a platform for open source contributors to go and see an aggregation, a collection of all open source projects. So Bitcoin, I think they stopped that open source contribution. Nobody could like I think not quite long, they stopped that part. Then another platform that became very popular before only Dust was Use Web 3. So this platform, Use Web 3, kind of like aggregates. Let me kind of go through that. Let me see. Can you see my screen? So Use Web 3 was useweb3.syz. If you go to this website, it's kind of like an aggregation of you could you could you could contribute to open source projects here. Yeah, so this is one of the websites popularly that kind of like guided a lot of people to contribute to open source before Only Does came on board to make it kind of easier and seamless for developers to contribute to open source projects and get rewarded in turn. So before now, in most of the approaches before now did not um, have kind of an incentive for developers to contribute and get rewarded, but only does came to revolutionize the whole approach to contributions to open source projects, and that is why we have a lot of people contributing and they are getting reward. Now, quickly, I will just go through what you can do to get started on Only Dust. So before you start using Only Dust, make sure you have a valid GitHub account. So what that means, if you are a developer and you want to get started contributing to open source projects, you need to sign up on GitHub. Now, once that's out of the way, I think Only Does has a lot of beginner friendly um, guide on how to create an account, link your GitHub account, and then get started. Right. So once that is out of the way, you must have a valid GitHub account. So that is the number one step. So now, how do you get started? Right, you have an account, you've been writing code, probably if you're writing front end, you know React, and you want to start contributing as a React developer. What do you do? This will take me to the next slide, right? So it's going to be a very brief session. Then I will take questions, right? So navigate to app.onlydots.com where you kind of like have opportunity to kind of like so app.onlydots.com /projects. So when you go here, you will see a lot of projects that are currently listed on Only Dust. That means that these projects kind of like if you contribute to any of these projects, you will get rewarded if your issue is eventually merged. So that's what that means. So, but this kind of can kind of be tricky for a lot of people who don't know where to start, or they kind of like have a particular skill set, and then they want to narrow it down um, to what they want to contribute to. So that takes me to the next step, which is you need to filter projects by your interest and your skill. So when you come to onlydust.com, app.onlydust.com/projects, on this pane, right, we have ecosystems, we have languages, we have categories. So you can actually filter based
Hi,
on
Dave.
a given. Can you hear me?
Hi, Dave. Yeah, I can
Can
hear
you
you,
hear
but we
me?
are not seeing your slide. We are just seeing your X account.
Oh wow. Okay, you can see
Yeah.
my account. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I thought I was sharing. So let
Okay.
me try to share again.
Share.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, no
I thought I
problem.
was sharing. Um, share. Okay. Brief window. Okay, guys, can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen?
Okay, let me add the screen to the stage. Okay, yeah, I
Okay,
can
so
see it
please.
now. Steps. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, everyone for that. I thought I was sharing my screen all the while. So just before I came here, I was talking about projects. So when you go to app.onlydust.com, you see an aggregation of a collection of different projects, but this can be kind of um, it is kind of misleading. Permit me to use that word because I may be a React developer and I don't know how to contribute to most of the projects here. So how do I filter? Remember, I mentioned something. I said for you to get started, you need to kind of like filter by interest, right? So I can come here and on this particular pane, I can filter by what? Probably I want to TypeScript, for instance, and probably I'm looking at gaming or DeFi, right? It kind of like gives me a result set of projects that are looking for your skill as a React developer to contribute. So this is kind of the result set that has been returned. So I can look at ZK ramp. Let's open this ZK ramp. ZK ramp is opening. So in on ZK, this is on this page. Just navigate to um, this repositories page. Just let's click it and let's see open issues, right? So this is ZK ramp. You can see the issues tab. You can see a lot of projects. So a lot of issues here have been highlighted, right? So this is basically kind of how to navigate your way around. So when we click this particular issue, I can see that this particular one is saying it's a backend related issue. So it's saying create prepared quote endpoint. So that means they are looking for in their backend, they want to create an endpoint that will handle this particular functionality, right? So kind of like to create codes, right? So this endpoint will trigger. So this is basically the description of this issue. So you can see a lot of people who have indicated interest to contribute to this particular issue. So any one of them who who's who is assigned to this issue will start working. So remember, I mentioned something. You have to like filter by interest and your skill set, right? So which is what I actually showcased now, and I've also done this and select a given project. Yeah. So when you filter by interest, you select the given project. In the case where I selected TypeScript, it returned result set of a couple of projects, and I highlighted ZK ramp. That was the selected project, and I navigated to the issues page, and then I can see that from this issues page, I can actually click here to show that I want to work here. Eventually, if I'm assigned, that is where um, um, the step 4, 5, 6 becomes relevant. So this is how to get started, right? Set getting a particular project and I'm indicating interest to work on that project. And the next step is if you're eventually assigned, that is where step 4 becomes necessary, right? You can see that a lot of people like have indicated interest to work on this particular project. If eventually any of them have been assigned, then we go to step for, which is to what? To fork the project. So forking will mean that let me show you how to do that. So for those of us who want to follow along, right? So you come here, you can actually fork this project. I want to fork everything, right? Basically, it gives me my own version of this particular repo in my under my username. I can see that this is my username, and this is the forked version of the ZK ramp. Yeah. So what this have given me is an opportunity for me to pull this particular code base to my machine. So I can, if you're using GitHub CLI tool, you can actually copy this and go to your terminal to like clone this particular repo to your local machine, and you can start working. So you check out the particular branch, and probably for the particular issue that you've been assigned, you start making the relevant changes, right? And that's how that works. So you perform your changes eventually, and once you're done with that, you can actually push your changes to you can push it up, and eventually, if your changes is uh, is recognized as valid, that means your contribution have been merged. You can say congratulations to yourself. You have contributed successfully to that particular project, and within days, your your incentive will be sent to you. So how do you even set up your account? I think when you go to Only Dust, um, you can see their Telegram group where you can actually join to kind of know the guidelines and then the requirements for you to provide relevant details about your KYC, your wallet address. All those things must pass. So that's how you know that you're who you say you are, right? To identify you accordingly and to issue your reward with the wallet app they provided. So that's basically how to get started and to contribute on your first issue. So that is that. So I know most of people coming into programming have the skills to write JavaScript and TypeScript. So that is kind of like the simplest entry point. So for those who are interested in writing something like Cairo, right, you can actually come here, select Cairo, and yeah. So once you select Cairo, the result set still comes back. Let's look at this project called Go Stack Me, right? This project here. Um, so if you want to contribute as a Cairo developer and you want to get started, so when you come to here, just click this. Automatically, it takes you to the project repo. You go to the issues. I think most of the issues here have been closed. No open issues yet. So that takes me to the next. You can see most of them have been closed. That means all these have been merged. That's when you have this purple ticker that this issue is closed. So that means anybody that actually contributed to this person, Emmanuel AR, has automatically gotten his incentive. So now takes us to the next item, which um, is it all the time that we can navigate to only doors to get rewarded? Um, that um, usually happens when only does organize periodically OD hack. That means OD hack, only does OD to represent only does for short. Then hack means kind of like an event to solve problems. So OD hack is kind of like an event that is periodically organized by only does to aggregate a couple of projects. So when we go here, I think okay, let's go to okay when you go to this particular link, you can see that it is coming soon. But if you go to the previous OD hacks, right, you'll see that there were a couple of projects that really participated. Stack Ludo, kind of a number of them, like right across Stacknet, across other ecosystems, not necessarily only limited to Stacknet. We have a lot of ecosystems there. But for emphasis, why did we even come here? We're coming here to I'm trying to try to like clarify that um, you have to wait for OD hack to start before you start contributing. So the next OD hack is coming up on the 26th of September. So what this means is you have to pay attention to this particular page anytime you see issues. So you can actually click this link to join an Only Dust Telegram group to stay up to date with a lot of information, updates regarding the projects that will be joining. I think there will be a community call to kind of like sensitize the community about projects that have indicated interest to participate in a particular a given OD hack. In this case, on the 26th of September, we have a collection of them. So I think those projects will come on board to talk about their projects and the expectations for people to contribute. The project maintainers will have an opportunity to discuss with the community. You can join that community call, ask relevant questions on how to navigate your way around and then how to get started with a particular project of interest. But make sure that the project you want to contribute to, you have the requisite skill to contribute to it. So if you're learning Rust at this time, you know you cannot deliver within days because usually only Dust OD hack is kind of like within 10 days. So if you know you don't have the muscle to take up a challenging task, don't take up that task because that is one of the issues that I think most people try to like get as much issues and then have them not they can't deliver most of these issues. So as much as possible, take on tasks that you know you can accomplish, right? And complete them before you move on to the next one, right? So yeah, so that's how to get started contributing to open source via Only Dust. And I hope most of us here who really want to get started will kind of like follow this guideline to become open source contributors in the Web3 space. So I think I will go back here, and then if anybody has, oh yeah, if you have any question, please let me know so that I can actually um, take some questions before I hand over to Aisha.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you. I think that was like the technical part. Like I said, Dave was supposed to go second, but we had to put him first because he has another commitment, right? So thank you very much. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. If you check the description of this YouTube live, you would also see the handle of Dave so that you can actually follow Dave in case you need any clarity about how to get started on contributing to OD only dust. Yeah, so like he said, you could actually contribute to only dust and get paid, but basically you have to be familiar with the programming language that you want to use to contribute, right? So please, if you have any question, let's drop it in the comment section. Any question at all, I would collate it and get it to Dave. And if there is no question for now, we have Victoria here already, and I think Victoria can just help us do justice from the beginning of open source and all of those stuff so that we can actually get the flow, right? Thank you very much, Dave. We really do appreciate you for coming on for this section. Yeah, thank you very much. So Victoria, you can
Thank you so
actually
much,
just
Aisha. Thank you.
yeah.
I hope anybody that has any question can actually DM me. We go around spreading the gospel of open source contributions using Only Dust. And I'm very, very, very excited to be part of this conversation to showcase the steps required for people to get started and then become open source contributors. Thank you so much. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if there are any questions, you can shoot a DM and then I'll respond accordingly. Thank you. But most importantly, I encourage everyone to join Only Dust Telegram group. Thank you so much, Aisha.
Thank you very much. How can they get the Telegram link if they want to join the Only Doors Telegram group?
Okay, let me I don't know if I'm sharing my screen, but I can drop the link to Only Dust. Let me drop it on the chat. Join the chat.
Okay.
Okay, let me okay, can I send it to you privately?
Yes, you
Okay, I
can
sent
send
it.
it to me. I will share it
Okay,
in
sure,
the
sure.
community. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. No problem. No problem. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
Bye.
very much. Hi, Vicky. Are you there? Let me add you to the stage. Hi, Vicky. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am. Yes, I
Hi,
can
good
hear you.
evening. Glad to have you here.
Okay.
How was your day?
Thank you for having me.
I'm guessing if
It
we
was
have any
good.
plenty
It was good.
question, we would have to direct
Thank
it to
you.
you because yeah, Dave has decided to like give you the mantle from start to finish. Okay. Can you hear me, Victoria?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, so we can start. If you have
All right, so I'll be
a
sharing
screen
my
to
screen.
share, you can share that. Then I can bring it up to the stage.
All right, so okay, just give me a sec. Mm. All right. Okay, we'll share my screen now.
I'm yet to see your screen.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can, and I just added it to the stage. Yeah. Please, guys, if you can see Victoria's screen, can you just reply in the comment section and let me know that you can see Victoria's screen? Screen. Sorry, I don't know why I said screen. So please just comment, make a comment, and let me know that you can see Victoria's screen. Thank you. But I can see your screen from my end. Euphemia just said 111. I'm guessing she can see the screen. That's why she replied 111.
All right. Can you hear me, Aisha?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you perfectly.
All right. Just let me know when I'm good to go.
Yes, please carry on. You're good to go. Like I said, Victoria, you can already see her introduction on the screen. I don't think I need to do any formal introduction. She's a blockchain developer. She's a writer at Urus Lab. She's a DevRel. She's an ambassador at Lisk, and yeah, and she's an open source contributor. So yeah, you can carry on, Victoria.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. I think you've done the introduction already. Thank you so much. So, I'm just going to be talking about how you can contribute to open source in Web3. So, let me just start because I know the previous speaker has, gone deep into it. So, let me just come with, kind of like a wide overview, right? So, open source refers to projects where the source code is made publicly available to you, so it can be accessible like to anyone. And the ways in which it's being publicly accessible is through GitHub. So you can go to the project GitHub and see their source code, their documentation, where it's coming from, and stuff like that. So this kind of transparency is really good because it allows developers and even writers and users to view and modify the project code, the project, the code, the documentation, everything about the project. And it also plays a critical role in the decentralized ethos of Web3, because that's the whole that's what the whole thing Web3 stands for, right? Decentralization and transparency and collaboration among everyone. So the importance of open source in Web3 is, as I explained earlier, helps with decentralization. The security of the project is also good because you can't build a project on your own, no matter if you have like the whole technical know-how. Like you can't build a fully kind of robust project. Yeah, you need the inputs of others as well. So that's one good thing about the importance of open source. And it also helps with interoperability because people can see your code and see your source code, see your project, read kind of like the white paper and everything that your project has to do, then kind of like integrate it into their own, thereby promoting interoperability. They can use it on their own application they're building, and stuff like that. So it's just easier for you to be able to integrate a project that is open source into your own project because you can see it, it's publicly available to everyone. So another one is ownership and control. So it gives you this sense of, okay, I kind of like have an idea what this project is doing. I have this sense of ownership, control because I can see what's going on. I can see what this project is all about. I feel like I own a part of it because it's open source. Guys, like me personally, if I'm using something and it's open source, I feel like this level of let's say peace of mind because there are a lot of amazing brains and very intelligent people in the world. So imagine something is open source and these guys have the opportunity to bring in their expertise. It's amazing. For example, Linux. So Linux is open source. I'm a big Linux fan, right? I love Linux a lot. So Linux is open source, and I like the fact that okay, a lot of people have opinions on how Linux can grow, and Linux is also one of like the best operating system at the moment. So it's actually like good, and also for sustainability, like the blockchain as we know it, right? You need to have this kind of like level of inputs and expertise and input for people to say okay, this is what you can do to make it sustainable, this is what you can do, like that. So let's just go. All right. So one of the example of open source projects is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, like in Web3 round, Bitcoin is open source. Ethereum is also open source, and Stacknet is also open source. Uniswap, I know you may be hearing of Uniswap if you're in the trading part of Web3. Uniswap is also open source. IPFS and Solidity, which is one of the popular programming language we have in the Ethereum space, is also open source. So I just want to talk about a little bit about my journey in Web3 and open source. Aisha, please confirm you can still hear me.
Yes, I can still hear you.
All right, great. Thank you. All right. So I just want to talk a little bit about my journey, like in Web3 and the open source journey because it is a lot, right? So I started off as a Web2 developer, like front end development. Then I tried Outreachy. Outreachy is an open source, community, like a platform where you when you get accepted, you get paid, sort of, yeah. You get paid. And I applied for that. I didn't get in, so that's kind of like just demoralized me and be like, "Ugh, what's open source safe?" I just kind of like lost interest in it. That was during my Web2 era. I didn't really see the big deal about it because uh I know there maybe some people see the advantage of it in Web2, but it was actually when I got into Web3 that I kind of like saw the value, saw the vision and everything. So when I got into Web3, like my first kind of okay, I just started learning, Solidity and kind of like how the blockchain works and stuff like that. So kind of my colleagues then at Web3 Bridge, because I'm also an alumni of Web3 Bridge, and we were just like talking, and they say okay, this is a project that you can contribute to, and when you contribute to it you get paid. And they introduced us to the platform, which is Only Dust. So we checked the platform. The person said okay, this is the project. The only project I contributed, my first contribution to a Web3 project was StarQuest. um because I know front end, so I just contributed to the project with my front end skills. So and I got paid like $50. Then it was like I'm like wow, $50 just like that, and it wasn't that hard or a big deal. It was just a very simple front end issue, and I picked it up and I got paid just like that. Starquest is part of like the Starknet ecosystem. That's why I'm also a bit advocate of Stacknet. They are doing very great when it comes to onboarding newbies into the space and open source in general. So it was kind of like, a very exciting time for me because I'm like, so I can do this little thing. I actually like, get paid and stuff like that. And while contributing, the amount of mentorship and guidance I received was through the roof. I was really impressed. Like the reviewer was actually like really nice, kind of like helped me through it. If I had questions, I just write under the issue and be like, okay, this is the problem I'm having and stuff like that, and it helped me through it, which is actually like very nice. Seeing that it was my first contribution, so yeah, that was just like my journey, Web3 and open source. So and you may be wondering, how would I get started with Web3 and open source? Because you've heard Dave, he spoke about the Olidos platform and introduction into the technical details on how to, contribute. So how do you get started if you're listening to me and be like, okay, wondering how do you get started in open source? So let's just walk through it. It's not kind of like a big deal. It's just something that, okay, you just take the step, and before you know it, you're an open source contributor, big in this space and doing well for yourself. All right, so the first step, like according to my own journey and perspective, was that I just chose a project. Right, I saw the project, I researched on the project. When they told me about StarQuest, the first thing I did was, okay, what is StarQuest about? What are they doing? And, I just explored like what they're doing and stuff like that. And I just joined the community, because they had like a community platform, forums and stuff like that. I looked for them. Actually, I looked for them. So one of the ways that you can do that is just to research on the project. Maybe projects on Ethereum. It doesn't have to be only Stacknet though. Projects on Ethereum are actually like open for open source. I was actually surprised when I heard it the first time. Like someone just contributed to open source in Ethereum. I'm like, wow, that's serious. So you're an Ethereum contributor now, so it's actually very interesting. So the community as well, open source community, they have like, okay, open source projects in general, they have like community forums, Discord or Telegram, just depends. So you can just research on it, meet the mentors, meet the people in charge. I think you should easily identify them on the Discord or Telegram. And also, one very important thing when it comes to contributing to open source Web3, yeah, some people will be like, okay, I don't want to contribute to the coding aspect of open source in Web3. I just want to do the documentation part and stuff like that. But you still need to understand the concepts of blockchain. You still need to understand how smart contract works, how consensus mechanism works, and stuff like that. Just the general blockchain fundamentals, right? So you need to be able to grab stats. You need to be able to understand it before you can even say, okay, I want to contribute to this project documentation. I want to contribute as a technical writer. I want to contribute as a content writer. I want to contribute as a designer, because no one is left out when it comes to open source. Whether you're a coder, you're a designer, you're a writer, artists, you can also like contribute to open source. You just need to, you may find it harder when it comes to those that contribute to coding and documentation, but you'll be all right. And one other thing is programming languages. You need to familiarize yourself with languages such as Cairo, Solidity, and Rust. It's not compulsory, but this programming language part is for those that want to contribute to coding. Then you want to contribute to the coding part of open source in Web3, you need to understand these languages, which are kind of like languages that we use mostly in Web3. There are more of them, but this is kind of like the most popular ones. And you need to also learn development tools like, Remix, Truffle, and Hadat, which is just like the same one when it comes to those that do coding and stuff like that. And even if you want to contribute to documentation, you also need to understand how Remix works. So you want to quickly test out what you're writing. If you're if you're into the technical writing part, you also need to understand the code. So you still need to test out your code and stuff like that. So yeah. And yeah, how to find issues to contribute to. So you can, when you go to a project repo, they have like um issues in place at Horus Lab. Horus Lab is also an open source project. So we have a lot of, it's a lab. So we have a lot of open source projects that you can contribute to. If I have enough time, I'm just going to share my screen and show you the whole Horus Lab repository and the projects that you can contribute to. But it will be best for you to go through the only those routes. But yeah, it's fine as well. So you just find issues. That's one of the first thing you do. Find the issues, review the project issues, find tags that match what your skill level is. If just find something that when you see the title of the issue, your head will not do bagain, you understand? Just find something that it works with you, your skill level. And small contributions matters a lot. Like my first contribution, I just changed. I forgotten what I did, but I can remember it was not complicated. It was something between ampersand and stuff like that, but it wasn't that complicated too. Small contributions matters a lot. Start small, address smaller issues. Maybe just be you see a bug and you say, okay, can I just help with this, change the writing, just scroll through the issues and you just find something that you can work with. You can help improve the project documentation. by writing tutorials to help people understand the complex concepts. And also you can also propose new features. That's one part that people often overlook. Or you can also propose new features, open an issue and say, okay, this is what I have. And when it's required, you need to brainstorm with the team involved. You can just raise an issue and tell them, okay, this is what I've noticed with your project, and I feel like this is the improvement it would need. You can discuss your idea, share it on Twitter, to the community, on Telegram, on Discord, and it will just tell you, sure, why not open an issue? So the open source community is very, very friendly. Like, I've met the most amazing friends I've had in this Web3 space through open source. It's really amazing. And these friends are all across the world. I have not met them before. I hope to meet them someday. So what you just need to do is, create an issue, tell them, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, and you're definitely going to get help along the way. So yeah. Okay, so more tips from me here. Networking. So you need to network, you need to connect to other developers, other writers, other designers, learn from them, their experience contributing. And another one is find a mentor. Don't bug your mentor. Your mentor can be someone that you mustn't be close to your mentor. That's one thing I've learned from over the years. I have a mentor as well, but we were not close. We're not close. We don't have frequent meetings, but I just look at her repo, look at what she does, how she approaches this, and when she does, like, she speaks at events, I try my best to, attend and, learn from her. So she's my mentor, but she may not even know it, or she may know it. It just depends. But find a mentor, seek guidance from people that are experienced in the space, experience when it comes to contributing to open source, and try collaborate with other contributors, those that are contributing on the project. When you see people contributing, the best place to find people to collaborate with is communities. Check their Telegram, their Discord, and contribute regularly. Open source contribution means that, okay, you need to be active in the space, consistent contributing, contribute regularly. And thanks to OD Hacks, OD Hacks was, created by Oli Dust. I don't know if they've spoke about that, but ODHacks actually, like, have done most of my amazing open source contribution through ODHacks. So they have, like, series every month or so. So they bring out open source projects where you find them. So ODHacks is on Telegram. Their community is very, very friendly, and Emily is very approachable. She's a, community lead for, OD Hacks programs and, series and stuff like that. So one thing is, you should be patient with yourself. Build a strong presence in open source. Building a strong presence in open source takes time, takes effort. So you need to be patient with yourself. Sometimes you be like, oh, why am I not seeing issues? Why am I not getting help? Why am I not doing this? You just need to be patient with yourself. Trust me, it's going to be a journey that you're going to enjoy at the long run. So just keep at it. And okay, so rewards and challenges contributing to open source. I know you may have an idea of the rewards and the challenges already, but just look at them. So one of the rewards is skill development. Yes, skill development, very important. This is a funny story, yeah. Um, I had a very funny experience with Rust. Rust is also a programming language we use in Web3 development. So I've actually, like, played around with a lot of programming languages, but Rust was pretty new to me. So I found an open source project, and I told them that, okay, yes, this is what I feel like, okay, I can do this, right? Because I feel like, okay, Rust is not, it's not going to be new to me, because I've dabbled a lot with a lot of programming language. I've done Cairo, which has a similar syntax to Rust. I've also dealt with Java and JavaScript and Solidity. I feel like, okay, I got this. You get, so I, commented and said, okay, give me this issue. I want to work on it. I was on this issue for, like, God knows how long. It was crazy. It was fun. I had to reach out to a lot of folks on the community, on the forum. I disturbed them a lot. Even the person in charge of my PR was actually like, what is this girl? What is wrong? Please close this. So it was actually, like, funny, but actually developed a lot of skills when it comes to Rust due to that open source contribution. So don't be scared, right? Don't be scared. Networking as well. Network with a lot of folks. It helps you network. It helps you grow network when it comes to, people you meet in the space. I've met a lot of people, as I've said earlier, through open source. Portfolio enhancement as well. So you have a lot of things to put on your portfolio, that you've done this, you've done that. You just need to a way to refine it on your portfolio. Also, career advancements. Yeah, career advancement, especially the Stacknet ecosystem, has helped me a lot when it comes to advancing my career with open source and stuff like that. Positive impact as well. So some open source projects are very amazing because it helps you reach out to a lot of folks, like positively impact them, because there are some projects that actually like are here to change the world, and how we say it. So it will mean a lot for you to, okay, you point at this and say, wow, I've contributed to this, I've contributed to that. Like I always envy those that contributed to the Stacknet documentation, because that documentation is amazing when it comes to Cairo and stuff like that. Those guys are changing lives at the moment. And I know this, look at it, they'll be like, I was among the contributors for this project. Just happy with themselves. That's one of the reward. And also community, being part of the community, and just being part of something amazing. Challenges, yeah, you need to be able to dedicate time, because some issues are time based, especially when it comes to OD hacks. They're not going to wait for you to finish. If they see that you're wasting too much time, they give it to someone else. There's a lot of competitions, so time commitment, you need to be able to commit a required time for you to be able to finish. And also learning curve, same thing I experienced with Rust. So there are some projects that use a language or a technology that you're not familiar with, so you have to learn that. So the learning curve is actually quite a challenge for most guys. So code reviews. So yeah, that's one of them. You have to be patient, because there are some reviewers that are busy. These guys have full-time jobs, so you have to be kind with them, and understand that they may waste sometimes some time replying to your PR or your issue, and they need some time to review your code. They can tell you, change this, change that, change that. I've had the same issue with an open source contribution I did. The reviewer was just requesting a lot of changes, and I was getting impatient. What is it? Merge this thing. Why are you telling me to be doing all these things, right? So it's one of those things. And also burnout. Yeah, burnout also happens. So if you feel like you've done so much open source contributions, you just chill out, because burnout is also something that you can't, resist sometimes. So yeah, that's all. So overall, the rewards of contributing to open source often outweighs the challenges. So by actively participating in projects, you can develop your skills, build your network, and make a meaningful impact on the tech industry and the Web3 industry as a whole. So thank you so much for having me. Hi Aisha. I'm done. I don't know
Thank
if there are
you
questions.
very much. Are you sure I wouldn't just give open source and Web3 a go? Like, let me go and start learning how to write Rust, how to write Cairo, how to write Starknet, and start making money.
You
Because
definitely should.
you really made it sound so interesting. I really love that. Thank you very much for coming on. This has really been insightful. If you check the comment section, you do have some questions. Okay, somebody said, "Do you get paid for raising issues?" Right? And another person said, "I need a mentor." And the third person said, "Where can I find open source project?" I am guessing the third person just joined us recently because she has mentioned it, but I would, if you still have time though, I would still love you to still like share your screen and show us one or two things like you were saying. I think you said you wanted to show us something on StarQuest. We don't really mind, right? So if the ladies can wait, they can still like get into that. So I think you can answer those questions. The first one, do you get paid for raising issues? Number two, where can I find open source project? And number three, I need a mentor, right? So please, if you could actually dive into that, we really love that. Thank you.
Sure, sure. Why not? Okay, so one let me just answer the one for finding a mentor. So like I said earlier, right? Your mentor doesn't have to be someone that is close to you. You can have a mentor from afar. Maybe you hear the person speaking and you be like, okay, I feel like this person has achieved something that I would like. So let me just, tag along to this person and see what she has been doing in the space or what he has been doing in the space, and stuff like that. So you can have mentors from afar. I have quite a lot of mentors that don't even know they are mentoring me. So they're just mentoring me from afar, which is actually quite interesting. So you can actually do that as well. So your mentor does not have to be close to you. There's a lot of mentors in this space. I can't even begin to count them all. Really amazing mentors doing wonderfully in this space. So you can check them out, check out what they're doing, and if it's kind of like fits into what you want, then why not follow them, attend their talks, and you're going to go well.
Okay,
All
great.
right.
So you don't really. Okay, you can go on.
All right. So another question says, okay, cool. Where can I find open source projects? Okay, so I think Dave explained only Dusts, just to confirm. Did he do that?
Yes, it did explain Only Dust and how they can pick issues on Only Dust and contribute to it. That was kind of a bit technical, but it didn't really mention where they can actually like find different open source projects, right? So Only Dust was just like our case study for this particular section. So yeah,
Okay, that's awesome. Let me just see if I can bring it up.
okay.
Just a yeah. So just bring it up and show the projects that you can find on Only Does. So I think you can. I don't know if you can allow me share my screen. Um,
Oh please share your screen. I would definitely love that.
mm, okay. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Ladies, please just put it in the comment section if you can see our screen. Yeah, please let me know if you can see our screen in the comment section.
Do that. Okay. Can you still hear me? All right. All right. Let me just go ahead. Okay. All right, so this is the Only Does platform. Please confirm that you can hear me. Like any chat on the,
Yes, I can hear you.
if you can
I
hear
can
me,
hear you,
just
and we can
confirm.
see your screen. Do you get that? I said
So
we
I just
can
want to
hear you.
give an overview of the Only Does platform, so you know how to navigate your way around. Okay, cool. All right, so this is the Olidos platform. So when I come here, the first thing I do is, see, I have a profile already. So for you to be able to sign into the Olidos platform, you need to have a GitHub account, which is what I have. So you can see my account here. So it's quite easy. What you just need to do is click on and sign into your account. Okay, so this is all the filters that you have. So this is the ecosystems. You can filter it. You can filter to see if you want to see only projects from Ethereum. You can just filter and it will show you only projects from Ethereum. You can see Foundry. You can, if you've heard of Foundry, you can contribute to Foundry and contribute to all these projects here. Then you filter, also get Stacknet projects. Let me just get only Stacknet. All right. So these are the Stacknet projects that you can see. Stacknet Go, Cairo Foundry, Stacknet React, and stuff like that. Oh yeah, this is the project I contributed to. This is the project I contributed to. My first contribution. Yeah. So I should be able to see my name here. They have a lot of contributions. Oh yeah, this is me. This is me. So which is amazing. So when I contributed, I was paid in stack tokens. So the worth of stack tokens has reduced now, so it's not up to 50 USD anymore. So this is the platform. So if you want to go to, let's say, their project on GitHub, so you can just come here and you see all the projects. You can just click on this, then it will take you to the GitHub. This is the GitHub for Stack Quests. So you can just come here, you can see all the issues they have. They don't have a lot of issues at the moment. So let's just look for a project that has more issues. Okay, so you can also search. Let me search for um let me search for casts. All right, so is also on the Horus Lab, part of the Horus Lab project, which is where I work as a technical writer. So this is the cast project, as one of our projects, and these are the maintainers, the project leads. So you can see all the contributors cast has. You can see the ecosystem it's on, the program it's running, and stuff like that. So you can just click on this to see the project repo. If you just want to contribute to a project through OnlyDust, all you just need to do is search for the project, then go to the project on Discord just to look for issues. Then you can just see this. Then you click on this, no issues currently. Then you can see all the closed pull requests that they have. Just navigate your way around and stuff like that. So it's not an easy journey, to find issues, but with consistency you can actually like do that if you search around. What I just do most times is just come here, search around, play around on what, if I see anyone, I just go to it. So just to see, let's check out Dojo. So you can see Dojo, you can see them, all the projects they have. Dojo is actually like one of the biggest open source contributions, like website that we have. Let's see projects. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. So they have like a lot of issues that you can come. So you just come here, check for the issues that is not yet assigned to someone. So all these ones have been assigned. You can see their profile image here. So it's already assigned to someone. This one has not been assigned to anyone yet, and it was recently opened. But you can already see some comments. People are already saying, can I take this, and stuff like that. So you can just come here, right? Can I take this? And if you want to easily get it or get it faster, you can just explain your skills and your understanding of the issue, how you're going to approach it, and stuff like that. So then it's going to be assigned to you. Then when you're done, you just open a pull request, and that's done. Then when you open a pull request, the reviewer is going to review it. So this person opened the pull request. Let's just check this. All right, so you can see. Oh, okay, yeah. So you can see this person opened the pull request for this issue, and you can see all the comments on all the reviews, all the things that the person needed to fix, I know, stuff like that. So it's actually, pretty fun contributing to a big project that that on the norms, like not be able to add your own skills to it. So it just makes me feel good when I look at a project and I feel like, okay, my code or my contributions or my documentation or my writing or anything is part of it, and helping the project grow. So it just feels good being part of something this amazing. So you can just check out the Olidos platform, play around and stuff like that.
Thank you very
So
much,
yeah.
Vicky. I hope Zainab is still here
Okay,
and she can see
are
all
there
that.
open source projects with just Solidity, or do I have to learn any other languages like Rust? Okay. Um yes. So there are open source projects that um are with just Solidity. You can just use only Solidity to contribute to open source projects. That is possible. So if you go here, you can edit You can edit it to a language that you want. Let's say you contribute to only Solidity, just edit it, and you're going to see Solidity projects that you can contribute to. So you can see all this. These are projects that require Solidity. So you can just say, okay, this is the only language I know currently. So open source is very inclusive according to your skill level. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything for you to be able to contribute to open source. If you check this, Dojo also has Solidity issues. So what you just need to look out for is issues that are within your skill level. If you see an issue for Solidity, you take it. If you see an issue for JavaScript, like there's open source contributions that do not even require you to know Solidity or Cairo. What you just need to do, let's say you have front end knowledge, you have JavaScript knowledge, you have TypeScript knowledge, you're good. And if you don't even have any programming language knowledge at all, you can contribute to documentations. There's a lot of them that you can contribute to. So it's a very inclusive ecosystem. So you can see all the categories of, they can contribute to. If you want to do dev tooling, gaming, infrastructure, DeFi, and all that. And yeah, so this is one I actually like to use. So newbies welcome. You can also filter it. These people welcome newbies, and you can also see issues available likely to reward. These are the projects that are likely to reward you. So you can see all the projects that are likely to reward. If you contribute to them, they will likely give you a reward. Then it's not all projects that reward you. Some projects reward and some don't. So these are the projects that are likely to reward you, and some may reward you in USD, some may reward you in their native token. Just depends on which contributions it is. All right, you're welcome. Hi Aisha, are you still there?
Yes, I am. I am also learning too. I am laid back and listening. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hello
Can you hear
Aisha, can
me?
you hear me?
Oh my god, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh wow, I said I was laid back and listening and also learning. So that's why I wasn't saying anything. I was concentrating. So,
Oh wow.
thank you very much. Thank you so much. This has really been insightful. I am sure for anyone that comes to this section and rewatch this section, they would really get something and they would be able to start their open source journey. So, in the description of this YouTube video, I have linked Victoria's Twitter handle. You can please follow her. You can send her Victoria, are they free to send you a message on X?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, please, you can send her a message on X in case you're trying to get started and you're having some issues. She's actually a free person to reach out to, and she's doing a very good job with advocating for Web3 and open source. Another thing is that you can come back to this video to rewatch this recap. You can come back to rewatch it in case you missed anything, like Zainab that didn't join us early. You can come back and rewatch this video. Yeah, so I think that will be all for now. Like she said, you can get started on contributing to open source using only does. And I really I the power share star quest, you could also dive into that. You can try to explore that part also. And if you're somebody that is looking to get started in your Web3 journey, you can also join the Web3 ladies community. Our Discord channel is also linked in the comments of this or in the description of this video. You can actually click on the link and join our Discord channel. Don't forget to subscribe. We would be holding monthly sections like this on YouTube Live so that you don't miss out on any. Thank you, ladies, for joining. I really do appreciate you guys for staying till the end. Thank you, Victoria, for coming to explain everything about open source in Web3. Victoria, I think I kind of have a question.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Okay, so
Yes,
let me
I'm
just ask this question. It could be interactive, but we learn every day. The Web3 space is already open, like the blockchain is already opened and all of those stuff, right? So when they say open source in Web3, that means the open source project are just projects that are built using Web3 technology, right? We can have private blockchain, public blockchain, consortium blockchain, like they used to say, but I just need like a small clarity with that. So is it just when we talk about open source in the Web3 space, is it just okay, projects built using the blockchain technology that are now made open source? So yeah.
yes, correct. Projects that are built for the blockchain technology, that's open source. Yeah.
Okay, so there can actually be some projects that are built on the blockchain technology, but they can decide not to make it open source to everyone, right?
Sure, sure, sure. There are like private projects that are not open source. It doesn't every project in the blockchain doesn't have to be open source, but there are some that are open source. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I hope anyone that has that question also got that answer. It's just for clarity purpose. So thank you very much, guys, for
You
joining.
for
I will be
having me.
ending this live now. Thank you, Victoria, for coming, and we hope to see you some other time when we call on you to come do this with us again. Do have a wonderful and lovely night rest, ladies. For anybody that is joining from Nigeria, if you're not joining from Nigeria, wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye bye, everyone.